Showtime. Dynamite Download.
Welcome to Dynamite Download, your source for positive coverage of all elite wrestling.
This is what pro wrestling feel like.
I told you guys, positive energy.
I think that created a little moment in itself.
You're saying I have a better record than Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, and now I'm going to have to wrestle them.
Super kick, hot tag!
I've never seen someone able to break down like wrestling like he does.
That punk, that long-haired hippie freak.
My real story does connect with a lot of people.
That you need to be careful in the locker room.
I definitely think that women's wrestling has been elevated.
And with the loss of Brody, I feel like we were just kind of a little bit directionless.
I was like deep diving into like cults.
Raw horse.
Raw horse?
Oh my god! Amazing.
I had to smack him around a few times to fully gain his respect.
You said that in front of the voice of a generation?
Versus Frankie's match.
Awesome.
This podcast is, quite frankly, the drizzling shit, if I'm being quite honest.
The day spread positivity about AEW.
Welcome to Dynamite Download.
What
Yum.
is up? Breaking it down with Dynamite Download. That heavy guitar solo reminds me of the guitar solo from Freebird, which also is the USA song for Olympics and men's hockey. And so we saw that song, or heard
USA.
that song played 5 times tonight when USA won their initial game in the Olympics. It is Olympic season. It is wrestling season year-round. And, wow, we are, as we were doing off air, we were eating because AEW is cooking. So we got to eat what they're cooking, and because they're cooking up some filet, some great stuff. And, wow, they're on fire. Chef Tony is cooking up some good stuff. The menu is Michelin star level.
Here we are, 5-star dining. All of us sickos are lining up at the 5-star buffet because, good Lord, AEW 2026, like we've already been saying, is cooking. And we may have had definitely we've had a contender. We may have seen match of the year, or at least match of the week, match of the night was last night. But we'll talk about that too. Some surprises. We had 2 title changes. We had nothing but slobber knockers last night. A lot of storyline development. Excuse me. A lot of cool stuff. But yes, we are eating. Thank you, Chef Tony. 5 stars, 5-star Yelp review. It's been phenomenal. And as you can see, I am wearing the shirt of the best bout machine in AEW and in any women's division. Chris Statlater, we love you, and you'll get that belt back, champ.
Yeah, quite amazing show, top to bottom. I love the way they started it, the brawl through the crowd and then through the table with Kenny and Swerve. And shockingly, I don't remember the last time we've had a double belt change on anything, really, even a pay-per-view.
It was certainly not Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, certainly not Battle of the Belts, but I think it was the right decision for both. We'll dive deeper as we get into the show, but man, these graphics are really, really awesome. I mean, we compliment these graphics all the time, but AEW does such a good job with their graphics team, and not just their match graphics and video packages, but look at this. It's just beautiful. These are like posters that you could put anywhere, like almost like movie style posters on it. Like, love it. I love it, love it, love it. But man, kicking off the show, Omega Swerve, like, man, they are putting gasoline on this quick. And I did not see this coming. I know they were kind of like going at it a little bit here and there, but wow, this feud quickly segued away from the world title and going in nose to nose against the best wrestler in the world in the past, potentially to the up and coming. I like Swerve was saying, our people are already passing you at this, essentially. But Kenny does have a lot to prove I think to himself, but not to us, because we know he is the best bout machine. We know he's the god of pro wrestling, and he is showing it over the last few weeks and months. And wow, did you expect this to escalate the way it did?
Yes, I did, and it actually exceeded my expectations. But yes, I mean, there was so much said from both of these guys, and both of these guys on the mic are great. Of course, these are two of the best in AEW. These are two of my favorite wrestlers of all time right now. Kenny, of course, since I first discovered him, like when I first discovered AEW, like, oh, who's this Kenny Omega guy? Whoa. And Swerve, the growth of Swerve, the rise of Swerve in AEW should be studied. He's always been great, but like, this is what happens when greatness is put in fertile soil. And Swerve can say the things he said last night because of the progress, because of how far he's come, how far he has come. Like he was given the opportunity, but it's his hard work and his development of character and everything,
100%.
All the subtleties, his reactions to Kenny's words, Kenny's reactions to Swerve. We were eating with this promo. And what I love is both Swerve and Kenny were saying things that weren't necessarily babyface or heel.
Right.
They were saying a lot of really good, compelling feud talk. And I loved both of it, but nobody could, whenever nobody was like one way or the other. When they go whose house, they go Swerve's house. They would for Kenny for his stuff too. I also love Kenny's line where he says, "You're not the most dangerous man in wrestling. That's Brody King." He didn't put himself over. He put Brody King over, which I love that they're doing that as well. Because not only, I don't think anybody, which I don't know, maybe after last night, maybe it might happen. I don't think anybody doubts that MJF's going to retain at Grand Slam. I think we're all waiting to see how much of a beating he's going to suffer from Brody King, as well as what's going to come out from that. I don't know. I think it'd be compelling if maybe they put the strap, but they're elevating Brody King by putting him in the main event spotlight. They're bringing up all these other guys. I thought this was phenomenal, and in a way, this is kind of acknowledging that I know, plug your ears, Deb. The era of Kenny Omega is starting to end. The era of Swerve Strickland and Kyle Fletcher, Hangman's still in the picture. They're going to be the future Kenny Omegas that we're going to be talking about.
It's true, and that's just the harsh reality. Even though we don't want to hear it, I do want to plug my ears along with it as well.
Yeah.
But these guys I just cannot believe we got this pushed to the metal so quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful for it and thankful for TK for this, because this feud could lead companies. This could be like such a marquee feud. And then next week we're getting this on free TV. And I was like, I texted someone and I was like, can this just be all of Dynamite? Can they just wrestle the whole Dynamite? Because I want to see that. Let them start the show. I feel like let them start the show and have as much time as possible. Going to be insane because as soon as they get in the ring, the crowd's just going to go crazy. They're going to get standing ovation. And it's just going to be like, holy shit, moment for sure.
Remember when Kenny versus Danielson and they did that?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty similar.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be sick, dude.
Because of how awesome Swerve has been, like you said, over the last few years in AEW, amazing growth. And then Kenny, essentially, the cleaner, the belt collector, the torch bearer as well. And to have him go against a core guy in AEW, awesome stuff. Can't say I love the way it started. I love it. The brawl was pretty sweet as well. First title match of the night. Wow. We're going to talk this one right away. Right away, we got to talk about this. Shocked, but I'm not shocked. But it is kind of a bummer Ciampa lost the belt so soon. But that's, as we talked in the past with the TNT, I'm okay with it being not always a hot potato belt, but more frequent changes than other belts. And I think maybe even throw in like the TBS, like those ones get defended every single week, so they're more at risk to be lost at any given night. And so this one, I don't know, backstory of why Ciampa was the belt, or, got the belt so soon, then got it back off, and now Briscoe's going back again for it. But wow, excuse me, this was match of the night, hands down match of the night. Set the bar, and it was, even though this whole show top to bottom was packed and fun, this nothing else stood out to me other than this one in terms of pure wrestling, pure storytelling, and so forth. Both guys could have easily been the performers of the night, and wow, what did it deliver? Like I expected it to deliver, but I did not expected to be this good. I mean, it just goes to show how good Kyle Fletcher is. Man, he looked like a towering beast over Ciampa, but Ciampa was coming back, the underdog, almost felt like an underdog story. The amount of false finishes, the amount of brutal offense both guys had, just like an A+ home run match of the night. So fun to watch.
It's so fun to watch. And you said something that we're probably not only going to say a lot tonight, but I think that's going to be a common thing we're going to say this year is we expected it to be great, and it was even better. Yeah. Like, we expected this match to be great. I wasn't sure. This was one I wasn't sure if Ciampa was going to retain or not. I actually was with you. I was like, yeah, Fletcher might get it back. My only thing was I was thinking, are they going to pull the trigger on this Don Callis thing? Where is someone in the Callis family going to cost him? Maybe Okada comes down and costs him the title, whatever. But that could still happen in Australia. And then the other funny thing is, I was saying, is this a passport match where maybe Ciampa doesn't have a passport to go to Australia, so he had to lose the belt here, so then maybe get it back later on. But right, I mean, the TNT title is supposed to kind of be more of a hot potato title. It's the network title. And that's what you do with it. And I'm fine with that being a hot potato. Sure. And Fletcher deserved this win. But again, another thing that AEW does brilliantly is when you lose, the loser doesn't look bad. It doesn't take away from Ciampa. And he looked phenomenal. Both of these guys look phenomenal. There was that knee spot where he just and of course Fletcher just took all of it. There's that
constant knees.
That spot on the steel steps where he just dropped. I think Kyle's got legit hurt. That was tremendous. But Kyle willing to take these bumps, Ciampa willing to take these bumps. This is one of those things where you could tell that Ciampa is thriving. His wrestling. Yeah, all right. I don't know how that got there. Yeah, we can just tell both of these guys are just, they know that they're having the match. They can hear the crowd. They know they're having the match. One of the things I love too is, there could be too many false finishes in matches, or if you do that over, like too many false finishes in several matches, it gets old after a while. But the false finishes in here, every time there was a 1-2 ooh, the crowd got more and more on the edge of their seat to the point where there was finally they were like, what's going to happen? And then they kept doing the count. They kept doing the 5 minutes left. Yeah. Are they going to pull a shenanigans and end up pulling a count out or whatever? It was tremendous. But this was match of the night. If you're a fan of wrestling, forget AEW, WWE, whatever. If you're a fan of professional wrestling, go out of your way to watch this match in full. 100%. And you will be happy you did. This was brilliant, fantastic. Two of the best in the game right there. And regardless of besides that he lost, Ciampa looked tremendous against Fletcher. A giant like Fletcher looked tremendous. Has established himself in AEW now. He's only had 2 matches, and he's already established in AEW as a threat, as a tremendous talent. And I'm whatever, give him whatever. It's been great.
I saw a picture. Someone was like, when Netflix says, "Are you still watching?" and then they show this photo, like waking up from Netflix and chilling. But man, I couldn't believe how. I know Fletcher's a big guy and Ciampa's not that big of a guy, but he just looked like a towering beast this whole match, Fletcher. But then also at the same time, Ciampa, like for his size, he wrestled such a great match against him too. So I feel like I saw a mixture of Roddy Strong, Adam Cole, but in a believable sense of his size. Like that is one thing I think Adam Cole lacks, is to be a believable small guy that could beat a big guy. I think he does like that. Ciampa doesn't. He has such powerful offense. I love that spot where he did do that spot on the steps, and then he's waiting for him like a hawk in the ring. As soon as Fletcher got in the ring, and boom, the knee right to the forehead, like pounced on him. So he like knows how to play his size versus the big guy. So yeah, I don't know why. It's fine that he came in hot in AEW. I just think let's keep the pedal going with him. If he's going to stay in the title picture, if he's going to shift somewhere else, or what? Do you think maybe Briscoe and him form a team or something for the time being? Because that would be pretty fun as well. I don't know on that. You got to keep that going because keep his momentum. He had 3 matches in essentially 11 days or something like that, and right off the bat with a title win and then a title loss. So keep that momentum going on him. Match of the night by far. And it's the right move. We're going to get, he said it in his promo that Fletcher wanted a hero's welcome at home down under. So crowd's going to go crazy for him. I'm curious if that's where we'll see something change. We spoke on our show a few weeks ago. It's like, whoa, could Fletcher be the one that's turning babyface, or could we see Fletcher and Takeshita? But Takeshita's going against Moxley. So you kind of got to have a heel babyface moment there. But I feel almost like that Fletcher's closer to being a babyface than Takeshita at the moment.
Yeah, it's weird. It does seem like that.
Right. Very strange, but awesome. But yeah, Briscoe coming out. I mean, I was like, okay. At first, I'm like, oh, they're revisiting this again, but I didn't realize it was 3-3. But wow, Briscoe and Fletcher in a ladder match for the title. Wow, that's going to be quite a way to either end the show or open the show. Actually, you can't end the show because you got that world title match, but it's going to be a fan favorite for sure. Who's a fan favorite of mine? Top guy, Ospreay. We talked about this as well the last few weeks. Like, you don't give us these awesome video packages, this heartfelt stuff, if you're not close away from returning. Now, I'm here for it. Give us one every other week, every third week, every week, whatever it may be. And then I do really think that's going to happen. I'm going to keep supporting the take of Ospreay coming back at Revolution, maybe not clear to wrestle, but coming back at Revolution, and then the double swerve with AJ Styles coming back as well. That way you can build. The pre-sale is after Revolution for All In Wembley. Not that they need it because they do really great numbers over there. But if you have Ospreay come back and essentially say, I'm going to be back for Wembley, and then you have AJ Styles like confront him and be like, you need an opponent to go against or whatever it is, and that's almost like a match preset for 5 months down the line or whatever it is. Wow, that would just be phenomenal way to end Revolution.
Phenomenal.
After MJF beats Andrade.
Phenomenal. What you just said, I got thoughts on, but the yes, like we talked about it last time, and I hope everybody had a chance, if you haven't, to go check out Triple H returning from quad surgery.
I did watch that,
and they were continuing these vignettes. Is that the word? Is that how you say it?
There you go.
Vinaigrettes.
Yeah,
these vinaigrettes. They
red wine vinaigrettes.
They keep doing these, like you said, until we get to Revolution, because that pop, when you hear that Ospreay pop, it's going to be great. But I love the double swerve there, where first Ospreay comes out and he says he's going to be able to wrestle, but he's going to be able to wrestle at All In, and then who's going to be his opponent? Yeah. Oh, crap, I'm going to go nuts. And then, yep. Can you imagine? Done. And here's the thing. All right. I'm a teacher. So I've been assigning homework. Last week I assigned you homework to go check out the Triple H return from Quad. This time I would like for you to go see the Royal Rumble. Was it 2018? I think it was 2018 when he debuted. 2017 and 2018. Roman Reigns was number 1. And I think number 3 was AJ Styles. And the night before he left New Japan. He flew from Japan to the Royal Rumble the next night. The crowd, a lot of people didn't know who he was, but the people that did, as soon as they saw Phenomenal on the Titantron, they knew it. And so that's what I'm thinking. It would be incredible to see. The Snake has also got a night. I've been thinking about this. Ospreay versus Fletcher for Wembley.
Heck yeah.
Look at the Fletcher now compared to when he first started feuding with Ospreay.
For
when
sure.
He did the head shave and everything. Totally different wrestler now. And I love how Fletcher you can't deny it. Fletcher even did a little bit of the Randy Orton pose.
Oh yeah, big time.
That was on purpose. I think that was for us.
Who cares? He lean into it a little bit, right? Why not?
Yeah. Oh, hey, shout out to Dr. Love, by the way. He's out Valentine's Day with the wife. Very cool.
Thanks for stopping by for sure and saying, hey, got to do a combo show coming up for sure. But we'll talk about that too. We got to add our +2 as soon as Grand Slam's over and Courtney's out of the hospital with her surgery. Wishing her well. Get well soon.
Get well soon.
And we'll wait for her to add our +2 to our draft, which will show the updated standings if you haven't seen them already. Big night for SPD. All I got to say about that.
Yeah. I noticed it was that you were hot to post those rankings when they came out.
I posted them at 10:08.
That was fast. 10:08, the rankings are up. Oh, SPD's in the lead.
I get them out every night. I get them out right away that night.
I get
but
it.
The Orange Cassidy Roddick Strong combo is both on Team SPD, so I was glad to see that W on that one versus Daniel Garcia and Clark Connors. Bigger story here, obviously. Well, the match was pretty fun, and the Clark Connors seems like he's gonna. I don't know if he got an All Elite graphic, but it does seem like he's gonna be rumored to be full time with AEW. And I liked how Moxley on the stick on the commentary was just saying, War Dog's a friend of ours. Gabe Kidd, I spoke to him, so there's still like. That those heel tendencies, but Moxley is over, and I don't know what's going on, but it's a fun little tweener stuff that they're kind of playing, and we saw that as well in that trios match with the Death Riders and Don Callis family. But Orange Cassidy, Roddick Strong, bigger story. Roddy essentially, he came out with no shirt, a blank shirt on, which against his will coming out with Orange Cassidy, but left him stranded in the ring.
Yeah.
Does this mean he's going to be heel or what?
Well, okay, so this is where, I was telling you before we got online that I tend to agree with Brian Alvarez a lot on a lot of things, which, take it for what it is. We both can agree the sky is blue, whatever.
Yeah.
I disagree. Alvarez made some comments, and I disagree with it from the standpoint of, and maybe it's my own preference, but he made a point that Roderick Strong has consistently said he's not a conglomeration member, that he is constantly saying, look, you keep calling me conglomeration. I'm not that person.
Right.
And he said he went out of his way that Orange Cassidy made this match without Roderick's approval. So they're trying to play up that frustration, but I think that's the wrong way to go, because especially that Roderick Strong proved himself in that most recent when he got the visible win with for the conglomeration, and he's helping him and all of that. So I don't necessarily see Roderick going heel, and I think that's a mistake because he's so much more compelling. I'd rather have him keep him as a grumpy, reluctant hero to the conglomeration than to turn him actual heel against the conglomeration, because I think he's much more enjoyable to watch. However, I understand why they had him do this, because as soon as he was leaving, what name, with Clark Connors in the mix, what name do you think was going? I was expecting the lights to go out, because you knew Darby, because they even mentioned, we don't know the status of Darby. He was left in the desert.
All right.
You knew Darby was going to make his presence known in some form, and sure enough, he did. So that was the to me that was the little tip. Like as soon as Roderick Strong was bailing, that's what was going to happen. I also thought it was interesting that Moxley wasn't happy with Daniel Garcia, so I don't know if that's going to play into something down the line, but we'll have to see.
He needs to challenge him more and get some wins and better in the ring.
Yep.
And of course, my least favorite finish, but favorite finish because it gets me a victory, was the old mousetrap roll up or whatever shenanigans. But after the match, Toni Storm cut a beautiful, beautiful promo, and for all of her fans. But I like the way they booked this at the end with Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta is, doing, as you've spoken very highly of him, both of us. He's feeling himself, and he's leaning into it, and the crowd is giving him. Speaking of the crowd, I gotta say, we didn't talk about that. The crowd was so good last night. So good, such a good crowd. Great chance. Here for it. They were like on their feet for every single match. Fantastic crowd. But once again, they're letting Wheeler Yuta hear it all, and he's leaning into it and telling him to shut up and everything in between. But wow, I did not see them coming out with Mina and essentially sacrificing her ponytail ahead of the hair versus hair match. That tells me obviously Yuta or Marina is going to get shaved bald. So, which either one I think would be fine. But writing seems totally like Yuta. Little safer bet. It's tougher for women.
This is what another thing that AEW's really cooking with now is they're taking these matches where at first you're kind of sure the outcome, but they do then they go and do a promo where it makes you question.
Sure.
Are they gonna go like Wheeler Yuta is the obvious choice to get shaved, but is he? Because they could go. It'd be interesting to have Marina go bald.
Right.
It'd be really compelling to see Toni Storm, who can then put wigs on, and that could be, she's even said, "I'm going to be one badass bald bitch" or something like that.
Right.
Orange Cassidy going bald. He's the only one I don't see doing that. Of course, there was funny when he online the clip of him wearing a Wheeler Yuta wig. Have you seen that? But he's wearing a long black-haired wig, and it's brilliant comedy. I do again, the obvious thing is it's going to be Wheeler Yuta going bald, but they've done a great job making you go
right.
It can go a different way. There's a storyline in other directions too. So I love it. Kudos to AEW. Kudos to Toni Storm, particularly for putting the seed of doubt in this feud.
The trios match I was mentioning earlier, Death Riders, Don Callis family. You're seeing this was shocking, and correct me if I misheard this, but they were saying this trios of the Death Riders has never been in a trios match together, which is really wild.
They usually have Wheeler Yuta. They usually have Yuta. It was usually Yuta or I guess Garcia, but we haven't had Mox and Claudio and Pac all together,
which is the core of the Death Riders. This is your core three, and then they did a great job saying, Claudio was essentially his henchman and Davis was their henchman. But wow, another spotlight I felt like for Davis in this match, and they're booking him to be this big, beefy beast, violent chopper. Aggressive guy and really be the henchman of the Don Callis family. Now, he doesn't necessarily have to get win after win after win, but he puts a whooping on anyone in the ring, and he went through all three guys. He was the first in the ring, and he knocked Pac down a few times, and Pac was like, oh, I don't want any of this. Same with Moxley. He took that first chop, dropped to his knees, and then Claudio versus him was a lot of fun back and forth, but Davis looked so strong in this match once again, and I'm actually really impressed and really happy that he's getting that kind of build and that type of big man, aggressive style that he has and being booked like a true good big man. Now, this one back and forth, like I can't wait for Takeshita versus Mox rematch. And, Takeshita versus Claudio is a fantastic match, but the rematch for the belt, I don't know where that's going to go. I really don't know who's going to win this one. Hopefully, I really am finally hoping we get to some kind of Okada issue, Takeshita issue, Fletcher, some internal turmoil that needs to happen a little bit.
To quote Full Tilt Dead, enough already.
Ha.
We're getting Okada to catch the blue balls here. Let's go.
Ha.
Let's do it. Let's
I know. I
get it
don't know
done.
what they're
Pull
holding
the
their. I
trigger.
don't know what they're holding their horses for.
Stop edging us. Let's go. Let's do it. On the Mark Davis comment that you said just a moment ago, and we talked about this last time. I felt bad. I was kind of not. He was not popping for me when he came back, and it was one of those things where they were. I don't think anybody was sure. I don't think he knew what to do. Nobody really quite knew what was going to happen with Mark Davis, and it's sad that it took a brief tag team partner for Mark Davis to find his identity. And hopefully Doyle will come back and they can be that wrecking machine that they were. But
sure,
just that brief stint with Doyle, like Davis and Doyle, I think that's all of a sudden something clicked with Mark Davis. He's found his identity. He's found what kind of wrestler he's going to be. And it's great to see that. It's kind of like when Ricochet realized he was, and like when Tony Storm became timeless. You're finding these moments where these wrestlers find their identity, and I think that you have this fertile soil, this playground where you can kind of do that. And I think that's what's happened with Davis. And yeah, I mean, he's not going to win every match, and he's not going to. I don't think he's in line to be the world champion anytime soon. Could be different in a year, but I feel like this is one of the things. Another thing that AEW does well is they allow these guys, these talents, to kind of explore and find themselves. And when they do, it clicks. And now, like he's a well-established member of the Callis family. He's well-established now. This is who he is. You can even see it in the confidence of his wrestling. Like there even seemed to be a hesitation before he was tagging with Doyle. There seemed to be almost an uncertainty with his wrestling. Now he wrestles with like he knows his place. I love that. Walking Weapon, our watch party doesn't care for him, but I think he's fantastic. He knows his role. But Takeshita facing off with Moxley still gives me goosebumps. Takeshita versus Claudio, give me a best of 7. I would all day long. I love this feud. I mean, Pac, I want Pac to take on El Clone. I want Pac versus El Clone. I want Pac versus all these guys. But this was so much fun. This was great. Also, love the touch that CMLL champion Claudio came to the ring wearing a luchador mask. Nice stuff. I love those subtleties.
So I tweeted out, and we talked about it kind of last week. Like, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Butcher Blade? Is it going to be Private Party? Is it going to be Cope and Cage? Is it going to be whoever? But as I mentioned last week, I was really hoping for Private Party because of this style of match. And sure enough, we got shots. Did you guys pop when you heard Private Party return?
This is how I felt.
Oh my God, is that a private chat party?
I guess I got to get the Shot song back on for that one, but the Shot is my favorite. Shots. Now, I popped a lot more than I think the crowd may have been really just in shock that they were back because they hadn't been. It's been 13 months since they were back.
Crazy to think it's been over a year.
Yeah, but I was super happy. Granted, Cope and Cage would have been a face melter if they came back, but this was phenomenal. And what a great opportunity to reintroduce Private Party, but in a 3-way dance, 6-man tornado tag with the ever since the beginning, you had the Young Bucks who are going to be insane, but also a great way to show what the Radicals can do. And I think this was Myron Reed's first match in AEW. And
they were saying something like that. I believe so too. Yeah.
Good gravy did Myron Reed look good. I mean, I know Courtney's a big fan. And I've seen some of the stuff he does, but and Desmond Xavier is still phenomenal, but good Lord, they looked good. Everybody was fantastic. I want them to run this back again. I do think that Mark Quinn might have gone to the same beef shop as Sir Swerve Strickland, maybe, because he looked thick, like, and I don't mean like fat. I think he looked like he had some mass to him. And I've said this before, and I hope this continues, but that time where Mark Quinn was out and Isaiah had, he was with Mike Hardy, Isaiah got to really establish himself as a singles competitor, but more so that matured him. Because when AEW first started 2019, he was a kid. He's not a kid anymore. He's really established. Isaiah Cassidy has established himself. He's a man. He's got as Full Tilt Dev taught me this term called man spread, where you no longer look like the boy. You're like, you kind of like fill out and you're kind of, but not just physically, but you can see it in his confidence. You can see it in the ring with him. And Mark Quinn is always phenomenal to watch, but I love it. Was so good to see Private Party back. Give them all the matches. Again, the more high-flying wrestlers we have, put them, again, the Rascals, Private Party, put all these guys in a non-ladder match where they have to get the belt without using a ladder. I mean, and I think they could do it. I love it. Just give me the flippy do all day long, 7 days a week, and I'll be happy.
You're right. And I'm so glad that this was Private Party because, like I said, the chemistry between or the styles clashing in such a good way. And we saw it. I mean, it was ridiculous because there wasn't really true tag. It was like they started like acting like they were going to tag in, tag out and certain stuff. I'm like, no way. This just went all the Freudian slip on Mind Runner there.
Yeah.
But
that's shows some wrestling history there, but go ahead.
We have what were those two guys that just signed with, because of MJF? What Oliver, like that tag team's coming that just came. We got the Rascals back or in AEW. Now we got Private Party back. The tag team division is ready. It is ready for that high flying, high energy matches that we used to love so much at the beginning of AEW. And no better team to lead that charge. This moment was so great. I rewatched this spot a couple times. I was like, wait, how far the heck did he go when he jumped off of Quinn's back? I was like, damn, that was far. But no better team to win this match and to lead the resurgence of the tag team division than the OGs, the Young Bucks. And
I call this match shoes, shots, and weed.
Shoes, shots, and weed.
Shoes, shots, and smokes. The Young Bucks shoe fetish, shots for Private Party, and of course the Rascals, not Radicals. Sorry about that, guys. They I think it's cigarettes or vapes or something that they partake of. It's always very smoky in their locker room, so I'm pretty sure it's just maybe it's candles, incense candles, perhaps.
The marquee match that I was hoping for AEW Revolution is going to happen. FTR is running it back with the Young Bucks, two of the captains of the tag team division, in my opinion, at AEW. Two guys and two teams that have amazing chemistry, some of the best of all time teams is going to be. This is what AEW tag team division is all about. FTR, Young Bucks, bringing it home in an awesome match for the titles. I got to see the ladder match at Dynasty in St. Louis a year and a half ago. Phenomenal. I can't wait to see this match. I would love to have this match be another rematch as a ladder match too. Because why not, right? Why not? But the Young Bucks put on their performances, or the Young Bucks put on a performance that we know we love, and that's what we love about, or they put on a performance that we love about them. Their OG, the entrance, the music, the shooting of the money, all the high spots, the tassels.
Yep.
Everything is back of the Young Bucks, and it just feels so right. And it would just even feel more right for them to win the titles against one of their biggest enemies and foes and challengers, FTR. And FTR has done some awesome stuff over the last few months and year. But so this makes it feel such a big match. And I don't know who. I mean, we're still a month away from the pay-per-view, but man, I don't know who's going to win that one.
I mean, you could do worse. I mean, you're looking at two teams that both have been in two. They both have participated in two of the best tag team matches of all time. You know, you go back to the Briscoes versus FTR double dog collar match in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I mean, that was insane. You've got the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. And, again, insane. I think that's one of the matches that converted Full Tilt Devin to a wrestling fan, was the Luchas versus Young Bucks. Now, imagine if this is just the beginning of something that might lead to Double or Nothing, where Edge and Christian are involved as a third, and we get another TLC match.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mean, I think that would be phenomenal. But again, this is where we're going. By the way, haters, I know haters are out there. Perhaps even a couple Dukes out there might not agree with me on this one, at least one in particular. Stokely with the FTR is just gold.
I like it.
Is such a weasel, and him in the wheelchair. It just come on. I didn't think I would like this because I kind of was hoping he would kind of help with the women's tag teams or something. But Stokely with FTR is such comedy gold. And this whole wheelchair gimmick has been so great. I love it. And when he thought he was going to get the super kick and the way he acts, it was phenomenal. Good stuff.
I wish he got the super kick. Hopefully that comes soon, and then he just flips backward, and then he comes back out with a neck brace on next time.
They're teasing it. Before we move on, can I, for everybody's consideration, the Rascals, they're supposed to have 4 members. Trey Miguel, unfortunately, due to things above Tony Khan. With the network, I guess you can't do it. But I'd like to propose a new 4th member to the Rascals. Those of you who are on my social media, on my Twitter, you probably know. But seems to be some tension with Athena and one of her minions. And I think it would be interesting to see if they build a storyline where Billy Starks finds some new friends.
Whoa, it's foggy in here.
You are absolutely impossible.
All right. Now, that was done with AI, and obviously that didn't quite look like Athena, but I just used that as proof of concept.
AI is wild.
How cool would it be to have Billy Starks with the Rascals as their 4th member? I think she'd fit in perfectly. I would love to see it. So forgive the AI slop, but that was more for proof of concept.
Okay.
Let's make it happen. And already Desmond Xavier has liked that. So he approves of Billy Starks joining the crew. I know Zach would definitely be okay with it. Myron should be okay with it. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Billy and Zach Wentz are at least friendly, if not an item already. So I don't know if that's true. Just that's my cheese man.
Read the dirt sheets.
Yeah, read the dirt sheets.
Main event, women's main event, second title match of the night in a strap match, rematch from a couple weeks ago. And I was saying, I thought Tekla was ever since she came in AEW, she has been booked as a top tier woman in the division. She went undefeated for a while. She's essentially leading the charge of the Triangle Madness. She's, got a lot of momentum, and she is presented very, very well. So I'm not surprised by this at all. And it was almost like a if not now win. And do you think that it's almost like the Hangman treatment where it's like, okay, we don't really have that many heels for Statlander to go against currently, so let's drop the belt on her, and then we'll role reversal where Tekla is going to have some of the baby faces go against her for a while, and then that way we can keep the belt fresh. Do you think that that's the case at all? Because we have that graphic of some of Statlander's defenses, which have been A+. She's been I said it in the chat, quality over quantity. I mean, you have such great quality feuds that we saw. I mean, you have Mercedes, Tony, Hayter, and Tekla, all women that have been presented as top tier champs, if not former champs. And so do you think that it's almost like, okay, we don't really have anyone immediately to take the belt from you, so let's just do this, kind of switch it up? How do you think that was the case?
I I think you're onto something. I like your parallel to Hangman because, at first, a baby face chasing a belt is more entertaining than a baby face retaining a belt. I think I don't want to say they paint themselves in the corner because I don't think that's necessarily it. Plus, I don't want to take away from Tekla actually deserving this. I was surprised at this result, but it's one of those hindsights where, this was the right move. I think Tekla has been such a game player, such a team player in AEW, and she's really been working tremendous. She's got a great whole philosophy, like she's the leader of this faction.
Yep.
And I think she needed the win more than Statlander needed to retain the belt. Statlander has established herself as the female best bout machine. And I say this wearing my Statlander shirt. I do think this was the right call. I do not think Statlander is going to be without gold for long.
For sure.
Whether she gets back the ladies platinum or she gets something else, I think she will get it back later this year. I think the other thing too was, unless they had somebody another big name heel ready for Statlander to step up after Tekla, I think this is the right call. Now Tekla's going to be now the question is Tekla going to, how long is she going to keep the belt? I don't like the main titles being a hot potato,
right?
But I do like when a heel has the belt, and now Statlander is going to fight to get it back. Plus, you can start to bring in other female wrestlers to compete with Statlander, kind of like how Swerve and Hanger are doing now, and Kenny. They're all kind of fighting each other to get to their next title shot, to get in their mind their title back. And now this also establishes Tekla as this does for Tekla what a lot of the guys are getting done now too. This is establishing her as a top tier female talent, which she is, but this kind of puts that sticker on it. Like, this kind of gives her that badge of, yes, she's now official. She is the main event. She is the woman. She is the one in the women's division now that everyone's going to be gunning for. Questions now come up. Is there going to be a babyface Mercedes Moné returning at some point?
I just saw she posted online that she's down in Mexico or somewhere getting stem cell treatment.
So what's going to happen down the line? I see Tekla, I see this feud continuing. I could see Statlander going for a rubber match, but I think Tekla's going to hang on to this, have a few cool defenses, and probably build something up past Revolution, maybe Double or Nothing. And it's going to be interesting to see. I'm not sure who takes it off her, and I don't know if it's Stat, but mark my words, Stat will get the championship back before the end of 2026.
I believe that I believe that too. And props to Tekla, because she has been a workhorse since she's been AEW. Yeah. She joined in June of 2025 and did go undefeated for a while. Some really good matches and forming that faction. And now as the heel, she has protection. So she can, poke the bear, do whatever, talk smack. And then she has the sister to sin. Whether they're going to get the titles on Saturday or not, who's to say? Then you have that faction get the titles. But it's fun when a heel does have a faction around their champion. That's why we were saying a few weeks ago, it's like, I want to see someone in Don Cal's family have the world title, because then I think that'll be very compelling and kind of fun chase and trying to get to the title for the top baby faces. When Jericho had it when he was in Inner Circle and so forth, and the Pinnacle and whatever it was. So, but I really did, as brutal as this match was, I thought it was very well wrestled. I thought they did such a great job with the strap. It seems like such a difficult thing to maneuver around in a match, to have wrestling spots and safe wrestling spots when you're handicapped and tied to someone else's hand. The whips and stuff aside, but everything that you were able to do and incorporate this in. I don't know if this was their personal first strap match or not, but I loved it. I think this delivered a home run main event for both these ladies. Tekla getting the gold is well earned, well deserved, and I'm excited for this new era to see what takes this red hot women's division to the next level. And I'm fine with it. I think Statlander had such a quality, good run. You know, selfishly, as we're big fans of her, we would have liked to see it longer, but it keeps it. I think TK knows what. Of course, he knows what he's doing, but keeping it fresh like this is smart. It's smart.
Fresh. That's the word here. It's fresh, and it doesn't take away from the best bout machine either.
Of course,
she's the best bout machine. A couple things about Tekla. One, of course, that I thought there were a lot of creative ways they used the strap, especially when she got into the spider and Stat just went yank like that and knocked it out. But they're both Statlander and Tekla were interviewed before this match. So like Stat was in a podcast, and Tekla I think was interviewed for maybe Sports Illustrated. I'm terrible with sources, but somewhere on the dirt sheets, whatever. Oh yeah, it was Jericho. That's right. So she was talking about both of them talking about how great AEW is and how they've how supportive everybody is, and Tekla talking about specifically Tony Khan, but like how everyone is helped. There's like a everybody's together in on this, and it's not like blowing smoke. You go to some companies and say we're a family, and then they fire you, or then they treat you like dirt. Here, I think that again, and it's a testament to why we keep saying it's like they're cooking. I think Tony Khan has finally just kind of put WWE in the rearview mirror as far as he's not worried about it anymore. It's kind of like, when you finally get over that ex, even if they're not over you, you're just moved on. You're moving forward. He's focused on AEW, and he's focused on the people that are there. It just, you can see that how happy people seem and how there seems to be a united front, a united mentality of mutual support. And you see it in everything that they're doing. For everything from lifting up Brody King and just, doing a lot. And I think putting the strap on Tekla, that's kind of like, hey, you've been working your butt off.
Right.
You deserve this. And and it's not a slam on Stat because Stat works her butt off. And there's a lot of butt for Stat to work off, Snacklander. But you hear now a lot, and it doesn't come across as propaganda. It comes across as genuine from these guys and gals, and I love that, and I see, and it's translating into very entertaining, compelling television and entertainment.
It feels like a adrenaline shot was given to AEW once 2026 hit, and I say that in such a great way because who knew we could get even better product in the calendar year 2026, and every show is delivering more and more and more and more and more in free TV. Like this show was like such an amazing show, and like Saturday's Grand Slam, they're throwing up the card here, is a mini pay-per-view. It's going to be a 2.5 hour run at least, they said, and this is everything you have. You have a number one contenders match, you got a title match, you got a hair versus hair match, you got another title match for a ladder match, tag team title match, and you have the world title match. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 titles on the line, one number one contender title on the line. And, as much as I love my hair, a hair versus hair match for sure. So like it's incredible stuff. And who knows what else is going to happen. And then you got, for those fans over there, a live event too. You think we should include the live event points in our draft?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, unless it's broadcast on their YouTube. I know it's run it.
I don't know. Yeah, you mean the birds of prey, the birds of the bitches of birds or whatever. I don't know. No, it's not televised. It's got to be televised. It's got to be televised. Surprises that may happen. They're in Australia. I know.
I know.
I don't know if there's gonna be about the phenomenal stuff happening this soon. But there are two possible surprises for the women's division, and the fact that there is a Mega Bad versus Babes of Wrath tag team championship. There's going to be that's going to be an interesting match, but I have a feeling we may have an iconic debut in AEW down in Australia. But there's another wrestler a female wrestler that I think could be very compelling. I'd love to see her feud with Tekla. I don't think you put her in a championship spot just yet. But the former Dakota Kai, she's a Kiwi.
Yeah.
And she's going by Charlie now. And I think she might debut. Or I think she's pretty close to showing up somewhere because she's got a match against Statlander in I want to say is it DPW? She's got a match against Statlander coming up, and she's going by the name Charlie. The former FKA Dakota Kai. I think that would be tremendous, and I'm looking for this Grand Slam. It's like a pay-per-view, but I
can't
love
wait to tune in for this.
I love that the women's division is getting all this. Yeah, the Brawling Birds, Birds of Prey, I think would have sounded pretty cool too. But the Brawling Birds, I get it.
Well, they're two. It fits them so perfectly because they are brawlers.
Yes, they are, and I love this combination. And we might see the two of them going for the tag titles in at All In.
That's the thing as well. It's like you have, as much as we want to see Babes of Wrath continue that. It's another one of those, like you have this babyface team. You have who knows what Statlander is going to do. You have High in My World babyface team. You have, I think, more babyface tag teams. And if you had the Iconics debut, you have another babyface team essentially debuting in the division. So you almost want heel champs or a heel champ. But I think that we're still going to save it for Megabad. We got to save it for Megabad.
Yeah.
For them to be the champs.
I think so. I love Babes of Wrath, but I think Megabad is due.
Yeah. Even though it's going to be in her hometown, her home country, for that. I think you have the feel-good moment, but also it could be a heartbreaking moment. But then you resurge the crowd with an Iconics debut to save the day, and then they all hug it out and they're happy afterwards.
You got to be joking me. Yeah.
Top performers of the night. It could have been many. It could have been many. It could have been almost anyone that was on the show last night. I picked the Bucks because I just love what they did in that match. And that is what really helped me fall in love with not only the AEW Tag Team Wrestling, but AEW in general and the Bucks. So this was like vintage style. I was just like so happy for it. And especially everything that happened after the match too. The finish, the high spots, the promo, and then holding the belts at the end.
If you took out Fletcher versus Ciampa out of the show last night,
please don't ever do that.
The tag team triple threat was clearly match of the night. A very, very close second was Stat versus Tekla. And again, this is like we're talking about the ugliest supermodel. They were all everything was tremendous last night. The main event was tremendous. It was the strap match. But I just like when I really just broke it down, as much as I enjoy the flippy do and as much as I love Stat Daddy, Ciampa versus Fletcher was match of the night. And it was because of both players here. Now, granted, we've had, I think Kyle Fletcher and Bandito, they're in the running for the most all-time, top performers for us. But I think what made the match compelling more than just a Fletcher match, a Fletcher match is going to be an awesome match. But what made it more compelling was the way Ciampa handled Fletcher. Like you said, he was the smaller of the two, but he still came across as brutal.
Oh, so brutal.
He came across as a badass, and he had those spots where he just nailed him with the face, right in the face, and it's like
over and over again.
And of course, Fletcher taking it, but there were just so many moments, and it's unfair to compare him to Adam Cole, but like as a guy, kind of a smaller guy compared to Fletcher, this was so much more believable and enjoyable, and it was brutal, and they took him to the limit, and Tommaso Ciampa with the loss still came out looking dominant, like a star, like the star that he is. And I can't believe he's 40 years old, but it was phenomenal. And I keep using that word phenomenal, like I'm trying to summon somebody to AEW. But
it's funny you just because I got that song queued up for our next slide.
Yes, but anyways, Ciampa is my top performer. I'm totally understand the Bucks, but yeah, the Psycho Killer, he's not done. He is not done in AEW. This is just the beginning, and just strap yourselves in.
The phenomenal SPD had a huge 4-point night. Huge 4-point night last night on Dynamite, catapulting me to the top for now. When I was filling this out and adjusting the brackets, I was like, oh my gosh, a 5-way tie with 8 points. And after Revolution next month, that +3 is going to be ever so important for anybody. Oh, it's the tightest draft we've had so far. This deep into it, month and a half long already.
Oh, the hubris of SPD. So quick to get the rankings up. Anything can happen.
I do it every time. I never do it that quick. I always do it as quick as I can.
No, but I'm just busting chops.
I know.
This is a testament to how close this is. There's there's a 6-point difference between the 5 people in last place and the first place person. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, and plus we've got that draft coming up, the +2, and there's such talent to take. I mean, now this is going to be the first time we actually dropped how many people we drafted, and now look how many people are new and are going to be available or have returned. So we're going to have it's going to be a tough +2 when we draft more people.
You got Ciampa, you got Private Party returning, you got the Rascals, you got who knows if we're gonna see some new surprises coming up at Phenomenal One AJ or
Iconics
surprises, Iconics. So it'll be interesting to see how we draft that +2. It's not a lot, but it can make a big difference for sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh man, AEW.
Tune in. Do not miss Grand Slam. 2.5 hours Saturday night. I'm going to be tuning in when I get off work. Can't wait. It's going to be such a great show. Last night was an awesome show. Thank you, Courtney. Hope you have a great weekend and everyone tuning in. We appreciate y'all. We will see you next week for we'll talk some Grand Slam because it's going to be big, and as well as Dynamite. And hopefully we get an hour match for Swerve and Kenny Omega. Would love to see that Iron Man match.
Love it. Good night, everybody.
Stop.